Everyone, Natasha Rosewood here. I'm sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. We've been having some fun and games with technology today. So if you're going through the same thing, you are not alone, and maybe it's just the system is overloaded. So my name is Natasha Rosewood. For those of you who don't know me, I am a quantum healer, inspirer of intuitive intelligence, intuitive coach, and author of 3 published books so far. If you want to know anything about me, you can go to natasharosewood.com, and the whole long gruesome story is there. Okay, today we're going to talk about, do you like your reality? And if you don't like it, here are some tips to change it. So before we get into that topic, I want to remind you that tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. on live, I will be interviewing Karen Fraser. And Karen is an amazing person. She's like me. She does teaching, producing, writing, spirit mediumship stuff. She is out there. And we're going to be talking about what are your dreams telling you, because during these interesting times, our subconscious is working overtime, and you are probably having some crazy dreams. So if you'd like to know what those mean, tune in tomorrow, or even better, send me an email before tomorrow, natasha@natasharosewood.com. So I've got an essence of your dream and can give it to Karen, and we can analyze it online for you. How would that be? So let's talk about reality now. So we've been in our homes now for maybe some of us months or a couple of weeks, depending on where you're at in this coronavirus. And staying at home is definitely a reality. And so some of us are handling this reality very nicely, thank you. Many of us have known that something like this would be coming down the pipe. And we're welcoming this opportunity just to have more time, just to be with our friends, our family, with ourselves, to do creative projects, to do online courses. Some of us are going, yeehaw, this is great, while others are struggling. And it's not to say that some of us who are doing well now will not do well later on. So we're just getting into the beginning of this, and right now it's maybe easier to cope than maybe it will be at the end of May. So especially with those people who are with children, or with people that are challenging, or addicted people who are going a little bit crazy. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you can instantly choose a new reality. Just like getting your TV remote and going click and going from all the negative news on CNN to the Disney Channel, or whatever your favorite channel, entertaining channel is. So children especially, I want to reach out to you, and these tips are easy for anybody to do, no matter what your age. And so you might be the most vulnerable to living with adults or parents who are having a stressed out time. And I want to say to you right now, don't take it too personally. Adults have their moments too. So I'm going to bring you good news, because throughout this virus, and we have been in this process of ascension for a couple of years, we are going from a physical reality where it's all about the body and what you see and what you can touch is real, to going into a much more enlightened reality where we're using our minds, our thoughts, our feelings, the invisible, to create. And this is called, some people say it's going from 3D or three-dimensional to 5D, five-dimensional. And many of us have been on the planet for decades now, working to get into the more spiritual, more enlightened state. And we can all do this. It's not, there's no holds barred for anybody. All you need to do is have an open mind and know that you've got this if you want to go there. And when you get there, it's so much easier than being in this dense physical world that we live in currently. So whether you are enlightened or not, Here are some tips to remind you of the power of your amazing mind so you can change your mind instantly. Like I say, it's like choosing a TV remote. Click, and you go from one to the next channel. And one channel scares you, and the other one is like, oh, I like hanging out here. So I'm encouraging you to hang out in the happy space as much as possible, because we know that when you're in a happy place, you're not stressed, your mind is open, you're more creative, you're kinder, and you're healthier because your immune system is not being stressed. So get into your happy place. So the first one is to hi, we've got somebody just came on, I thought. So the first one of these tips is write a good news list and post it on your fridge. So let your family, especially children, add to it every day. So by the end of this virus and this enforced isolation, you might have a huge long list of all great things that are actually happening as a surprise to you because of this. So as an example, you might want to write or remind yourself that only a small percentage of people are actually dying from this virus. I don't know if this is true, but I was told yesterday that the numbers of the coronavirus haven't even matched those of the flu. So I'm not too sure if that's correct, but it might be worth researching. A lot of people, the majority of people recover even if they do get it. So remember that. Write down, this too shall pass. As we know, this is only temporary. It's not going to be years, I don't believe. It's going to be months. But again, that depends on us and how we self-isolate and are responsible to ourselves and to each other. So the sooner you stay home, the sooner you'll be better. So Crystal, hi, thanks for joining me. And another one is, I am safe and all is well in my world, because a much bigger power is in charge of this thing. We are being forced to surrender at this time. And so it's about saying, I am safe and I am surrendering to a higher power. Humanity is working together to get us all through this. So know that I love humanity. We're very empathic beings. When the chips are down, we tend to come together and make things work as a team. So it's bringing out a team spirit in all of us. So I hope you're one of those that's in that team and doing what you can do, doing your part, and not one of those people who thinks, oh, I'm going to exploit this. That's going to be very bad karma for you down the road. So do not recommend that. Be a team player. The planet is healing, and so are we. You know, we know this already. The pollutants in Europe have already begun to shrink, to decrease. The air is sweeter, the birds are singing, the swans are swimming in Venice, and the dolphins are coming out to play. And it's forcing us, all of us, to, when we do go outside, is to go out in the fresh air and breathe in that sweetness and have time in nature. Very, very important for our soul, our mental health, and the planet as well. So this coronavirus is happening for a good reason. So when you're afraid or feeling hopeless about the future, you can read those items and feel encouraged, literally giving yourself courage to change your thinking and get back into that frequency of hope and joy. And hey, you know what? This is all good. We pray for those people who are sick, who have lost loved ones to the coronavirus, of course, and thank all the people who are out there, the truck drivers, the nurses and doctors, the people who work in the grocery stores, all those volunteers that are doing very needed services. And so we're very grateful for them too. So think about the goodness of humanity. Focus on that and how you can add to that goodness. So if you have this list, encourage members of your household to keep, if they hear something good on the news. I heard something today, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that the curve is flattening in New York. That's a miracle. Whatever little snippets of good news you can draw from your environment, from your experience, write that on your list, even if it becomes a book That's all good. And then read that every day to remind yourself, yes, I'm in a good place. The last one is just an exciting new beginning for a better humanity. I'm of the belief that absolutely this is Mother Earth who's come to save us from ourselves and make us realize what we have been doing. We were going to go down into a very dark place, much darker than this is probably going to be. So you can thank Mother Earth and the coronavirus for bringing this on before we really are in a train wreck. So number 2 tip is be grateful. Switch into the glass is half full, not half empty attitude. Be grateful for this virus and what the gifts are that are being offered to you. And maybe you don't know what those gifts are yet. Maybe more time to be with yourself. Maybe you got out of something that you really didn't want to do. Maybe that was your work or a trip or a meeting. You've got more time to be with yourself. You've maybe spoken to old friends. Maybe you've made new ones. We will definitely reveal ourselves through this, through the stress of this crisis and through the gifts of this crisis, who we really are and how we show up in an emergency. As a flight attendant, I saw that a lot. And we don't know ourselves until we're presented with the situation on how we will react. So be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and just remember, what are you grateful for? That might be list number 2 on your fridge. Personally, I'm so grateful for all the jokes that people have been sending me, amongst many other things. And then I've put those on a web page, on my web page, natasharosewood.com funnies. So if you need some laugh therapy, go there and see some good jokes. Tried to put just the clean ones up. There's a few that aren't quite so polite, shall we say, so I've kept those to myself. Number 3 on your list of how to choose a new reality. In your mind, go to your happy place. I've said before, one of my great memories is lying on a beach in Barbados under a palm tree, wafting a nice gentle breeze as the sun shone down, and I've got my little cocktail there and just listening to the surf crashing on the beach. And even if you haven't been to Barbados, think of that place where you have been, that you've enjoyed, or maybe it was with a group of friends or your family on a holiday somewhere, or just a gathering, and just remembering how good that felt. So close your eyes once you've got your memory. Close your eyes, take 3 nice deep breaths, and just pretend that you're there right now. Because that joy and that happiness and that feeling of fun and safety and being loved will actually have a physiological effect on your body. It will really help your immune system and strengthen you and just relax you and remind you that, yes, you are safe. So go and hang out in your happy place more than you hang out anywhere else. Again, take the TV remote and go click off with the news and click onto the happy place. Number 4, what is your gift to the world at this time? And maybe you don't know that yet. Maybe that's early days. Some people are already finding out that there may be great homeschool teachers to their children. Maybe the desperation of giving the kids something to do is discovering how creative they are and what a great imagination is. Maybe you're one of these people who's able to reach out on the phone to strangers or people who are on their own and are afraid. Or maybe you're telling great jokes. Maybe you're volunteering to do someone's shopping. So whatever you give, know that that is a gift back to you about the value of who you are in a crisis. And that's an amazing thing to know. And you can give yourself a pat on the back and say, you know what? I showed up, I stepped up to the plate, and you know what? I might just keep this going even after this is over. So realizing your value. Number 5, I'm sorry about the background noises, people, but I had to readjust my location to do this Facebook Live. So my husband just returned and is making some noises. Number 5, don't take anything personally. It's easy to say in the moment, when somebody's ranting and raving at you or being rude. But remember that we're all having reactions to this situation. So when our people in our homes, our world, or at the grocery store behave in an irrational way, or what is irrational to you at least, and begin hurling abuse at you, just remind yourself that they're probably having a bad day. They may be afraid. Maybe they're really super stressed about their money situation or their job or their health. And just please forgive them in the moment and try not to take it personally. This especially applies to children who might be with parents who are very stressed out. So just forgive them too. They're just people as well. Silently in your mind communicate that you understand their fear and you want to reassure them that they are safe. So just in your mind, just say, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I forgive you, I love you, I'm sorry, and you are safe. So if you can just communicate that silently, they'll be very grateful to you, and you'll just notice how their energy will just start to really kind of deflate and just kind of calm down. And hopefully they will see the errors of the ways of yelling at you and go, oh, you know what? I didn't mean to do that. So I'm very sorry about that. I'm sorry something's going on here too. I don't know if you saw that, but something just came up on my screen. Technology fun. I just love it, especially when it works. Number 6, use your imagination and visualize a better world when this is done. So instead of the going back to a happy place, we're going forward to a happy place at the end of when this hibernation is over. My own personal vision is we're having street parties, and there are tables and tables of laden with food and balloons and music, steel drums, and everybody's dancing, the old and the young, and we're all going, thank God, it's over. And we've learned a few lessons or two. So what are the lessons that we've learned, both as individuals and as a world community? Maybe we've said, okay, that's it, no more plastics. Maybe we're all started to learn how to grow our own vegetables. Maybe we have chosen not to spend so much time on the phone, but really appreciated now what it means to be in each other's company. So please just think about, focus on a new global reality where we're all cherished and the earth is cherished and we're all really, really helping. So those are my 6 tips for today. I hope they help. Sorry about the background noise. I had to improvise. And I did say that I would be announcing the winner of the contest. I put out a contest for jokes and stories. And the winner of the contest, I think, is going to be Betty Cahill, otherwise known as Boo. She's a very dear client of mine, and she sent me a lovely story about how she heard that a mother with children didn't have a car, wasn't able to go and pick up a lot of groceries and needed some meat. And when she got to the store, there was no meat. So Betty went and bought her some meat and delivered it. And it just so happened that Boo wanted to remain anonymous, but she got found out. So the lady who was a recipient of the meat had a surplus of asparagus and returned the favor. So it was just a lovely story, just a simple story of people being kind to one another. And may I remind you, be kind and thank people for being kind to you. So just to finish this off, I'm always talking about raising frequency, and there's Wayne Dyer made a calendar, and on each page he put a kind of a little, I want to say a speck of advice, and I love this one for today. Raise yourself to the level of energy where you are, the light you seek, where you are the happiness you desire, where you are the love you feel is missing, where you are the unlimited abundance you crave. So that's what it's all about right now, is rising the frequency, raising our own frequency, stepping into courage and kindness, and helping us all get through this. And lastly but not least, please protect everyone and stay at home. And sanitize, gargle with salt, take your zinc lozenges, and wash your hands, of course. You know this to be true. So namaste, God bless, and putting white light around you all. And thank you for being with me today. Bye-bye.